January 9th, Genesis 27, 28, and 29. And it came to be, when Yitzhak was old, and his eyes were too dim to see, that he called Esau, his elder son, and said to him, My son. And he answered him, Here I am. And he said, See now, I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now then, please take your weapons, your quiver, and your bow, and go out to the field, and hunt wild game for me, and make me a tasty dish, such as I love, and bring it to me to eat, in order that my being does bless you before I die. And Rebekah heard when Yitzhak spoke to Esau his son, and Esau went into the field to hunt wild game, and to bring it. And Rebekah spoke to Jacob, her son, saying, See, I heard your father speak to Esau. Hopefully that didn't mess that up. To Esau, your brother, saying, Bring me wild game, and make me a tasty dish to eat, and bless you in the presence of Yah before my death. Now, my son, listen to my voice, according to what I command you. Please go to the flock, and bring me 2 choice goats, and I make a tasty dish from them for your father, such as he loves. And you shall take it to your father, and he shall eat it, so that he might bless you before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, See, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth-skinned man. What if my father touches me? Then I shall be like a deceiver in his eyes, and shall bring a curse on myself, and not a blessing. But his mother said to him, Let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice, and go, get them for me. And he went and fetched them, and brought them to his mother, and his mother made a tasty dish, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took the best garments of her elder son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them on Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of young goats on his hands, on the smooth part of his neck, and she gave the tasty dish and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he went to his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who are you, my son? And Jacob said to his father, I am Esau, your firstborn son. I have done as you said to me. Please rise, sit, and eat of my wild game, so that your being might bless me. But Yitzhak said to his son, How is it that you have found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because Yah, your Elohim, brought it to me. Then Yitzhak said to Jacob, Please come nearer, so that I feel you, my son, whether you are truly my son Esau or not. And Jacob went to Yitzhak, his father, and he felt him and said, The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he did not recognize him, for the hands were hairy, like his brother Esau's hands. And he blessed him. And he said, Are you truly my son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and let me eat of my son's wild game, so that my being might bless you. So he brought it near him, and he ate. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Yitzhak said to him, Come near me, and kiss me, my son. And he came near, and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his garments, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is like the smell of a field in which Yah has blessed. And Elohim give you the dew of the heavens, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine. Let people serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brothers, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be those cursing you, and blessed be those blessing you. And it came to be, as soon as Yitzhak had finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had hardly left the presence of Yitzhak, his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he too had made a tasty dish, and brought it to his father, and said to his father, Let my father rise and eat of his son's wild game, so that your being might bless me. And Yitzhak said to him, Who are you? And he said, I am your son, your firstborn, Esau. Then Yitzhak trembled exceedingly, and said, Who was it then who hunted wild game, and brought it to me? I ate all of it before you came, and I have blessed him. Yes, he is blessed. And When Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with an exceedingly great and bitter cry, and said to his father, Bless me, me too, O my father. And he said, Your brother came in with deceit and took your blessing. And Esau was his name then called Jacob, for he has caught me by the heel these 2 times, having took my birthright. And see, now he has taken my blessing. And he said, Have you not reserved a blessing for me? And Yitzhak answered and said to Esau, See, I have made him your master, and all his brothers shall I have, and all his brothers I have given to him as servants, and I have sustained him with grain and wine. And what then, son, and then, and what then shall I do for you, my son? And Esau said to his father, Having only one blessing? Have you only one blessing, my father? Bless me too, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Yitzhak his father answered and said to him, See, your dwelling is of the fatness of the earth, and the dew of the heavens from above. And by your sword you are to live, and serve your brother. And it shall be, when you grow restless, that you shall break his yoke from your neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing which his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father draw near. Then I am going to kill my brother Jacob. And the words of Esau, her older son, were reported to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said to him, See, your brother Esau comforts himself concerning you, to kill you. And now, my son, listen to my voice, and rise, flee to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him a few days, until your brother's wrath turns away, until your brother's displeasure turns away from you, and he forgets what you have done to him. And I shall send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereaved of you both in one day? And Rebekah said to Yitzhak, I am disgusted with my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob takes a wife from the daughters of Heth, like these who are the daughters of the land, what is my life to me? And Yitzhak called Jacob and blessed him, commanded him, and said, Do not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. Arise and go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take a wife for yourself from there, from the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. And El Shaddai bless you, and make you fruitful, and increase you, and you shall become an assembly of peoples, and give you the blessing of Abraham to you and your seed with you, so that you inherit the land of your sojournings, which Elohim gave to Abraham. And Yitzhak sent Jacob away, and he went to Padan Aram to Laban, the son of Bethuel, the Aramean, the brother of Ribkah, the mother of Jacob and Esau. And Esau saw that Yitzhak had blessed Jacob, and sent him away to Padan Aram to take himself a wife from there, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a command, saying, Do not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. And that Jacob had obeyed his father and his mother, and had gone to Padan Aram. So Esau saw that the daughters of Canaan did not please his father Yitzhak. And Esau went to Ishmael, and took Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebaioth, to be his wife, beside the wives he had. And Jacob went out from Beersheba, and went toward Haran. And he came upon a place, and stopped over for the night, for the sun had set. And he took one of the stones of that place, and put it at his head, and he lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and saw a ladder set up on the earth, and its top reached to the heavens, and saw messengers of Elohim going up and coming down on it. And see, Yah stood above it, and said, I am Yah, Elohim of Abraham, your father, and Elohim of Yitzhak. The land on which you are lying, I give it to you and your seed. And your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall break forth to the west, and to the east, to the north, and the south. and all the clans of the earth shall be blessed in you and your seed. And see, I am with you, and shall guard you wherever you go, and shall bring you back to this land. For I am not going to leave you until I have done what I have spoken to you. And Jacob woke from his sleep, and said, Truly Yah is in this place, and I did not know it. And he was afraid, and said, How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of Elohim, and this is the gate of the heavens. And Jacob rose early in the morning, and took the stone that he had put at his head, and set it up as a standing column, and poured oil on top of it. And he called the name of that place Beit El. However, the name of that city had been Luz previously. And Jacob made a vow, saying, See, Elohim is with me, and has kept me in this way that I am going, and has given me bread to eat, and a garment to put on, when I have returned to my father's house in peace. And Yah has been my Elohim. Then this stone, which I have set as a standing column, shall be Elohim's house, and all that you give me, I shall certainly give a tenth to you. Genesis 29. And Jacob moved on, and came to the land of the people of the east. And he looked, and saw a well in the field, and saw 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks, and a large stone was on the well's mouth. And all the flocks would be gathered there. Then they would roll the stone from the well's mouth, and water the sheep, and put the stone back in its place on the well's mouth. And Jacob said to them, My brothers, where are you from? And they said, We are from Haran. And he said to them, Do you know Laban, son of Nahor? And they said, We know him. And he said to them, Is he well? And they said, Well. And see, his daughter Rahel is coming with sheep. And he said, See, it is still high day, not the time for the livestock to be gathered together. Water the sheep, and go and feed them. But they said, We are not allowed until all the flocks are gathered together, and they have rolled the stone from the well's mouth. Then we shall water the sheep. While he was still speaking with them, Rahel came with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. And it came to be, when Jacob saw Rahel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rahel, and lifted up his voice, and wept. And when Jacob told Rahel that he was her father's relative, and that he was Rebekah's son, she ran and told her father. And it came to be, when Laban heard the report about Jacob his sister's son, that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him into his house. Then he told Laban all these matters. And Laban said to him, You are indeed my bone and my flesh. And he stayed with him for a new moon. Then Laban said to Jacob, Because you are my relative, should you therefore serve me for naught? Let me know what your wages be. And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rahel. I think it's supposed to be Rachel. I can't remember. And Leah's eyes were weak, but Rahel was beautiful of form and beautiful of appearance. And Jacob loved Rahel. So he said, Let me serve you 7 years for Rahel, your younger daughter. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to you than that I should give her to another man. Stay with me. So Jacob served 7 years for Rahel, and they seemed to him but a few days, because of the love he had for her. Jacob said to Laban, Give me my wife, for my days are completed, and let me go into her. And Laban gathered all the men of the place, and made a feast. And it came to be in the evening, that he took Leah his daughter, and brought her to Jacob, and he went into her. And Laban gave his female servant Zipphah to his daughter Leah as a female servant. And in the morning it came to be, that see, it was Leah. So he said to Laban, What is this you have done to me? Was it not for Rachel that I served you? Rachel. Why have you deceived me? And Laban said, it is not done this way in our place, to give you the younger before the firstborn. Complete the week of this one. Then we give you this one too, for the service which you shall serve with me still another 7 years. So Jacob did so and completed her week. Then he gave him his daughter Rael too, as a wife. And Laban gave his female servant Bilhah to his daughter Rael as a female servant. And he also went in to Rael, and he also loved Rael more than Leah. And he served with Laban still another 7 years. And Yah saw that Leah was unloved, and he opened her womb, but Rael was barren. And Leah conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, For Yah has looked on my affliction, because now my husband is going to love me. And she conceived again and bore a son, and said, Because Yah has heard that I am unloved, he gave me this son too, and called his name Shimon. And she conceived again and bore a son, and said, Now this time my husband is joined to me, because I have borne him 3 sons. So his name was called Lewi. And she conceived again and bore a son, and said, Now I praise Yah. So she called his name Yehuda. Judah. And she ceased bearing.